What's going on, Capricorn? Welcome to my channel. We're about to jump into your energy. This goes out to Sun, Moon, and Rising, singles, couples, men and women. Cross watchers are welcome. So let's talk about the cosmos, shall we? Which is about creativity and vastness. And let's think about Earth for a second. Let's think about that tree. Let's think about that little itty bitty acorn that goes into the ground and starts to do its thing. It creates its way. It's like, well, that big ass branch is in the way, that root is in the way, but I'm going to work my way through it. Man, I'm trying to see the sun, but I realize if I see the sun now and the wind blows, I'm going to fall over. So I better go down before I can go up. It's about going into the subconscious energy. It's about understanding that you do have that cosmic connection to the sacred waters of light, to Lady Luna, to the solar power, to the winds, to everything. But sometimes you just got to take time and set roots. So, what are we talking about this time? Setting roots. 4 plus 1 is 5 also, and 41. So 4, 1, 5, 41 if you're into numerology. I know a lot of y'all are. So as we look at the cosmos, we see this vastness. When you see the universe, you see stars, you see stardust, you see radiation, you see everything. The universe can bless you or it can mess you up. You can go out into space and see amazing things, run into aliens, see stardust, see big giant rocks. But then you can also die from gamma radiation. So it's a pro and a con. And isn't that the same way with planting roots? Yes, there's a chance that a flood might come in and knock your roots around, but the chances of that are slim because if you bury yourself so deep and you set up a foundation so deep that when that flood comes on in, you might get the surface knocked over. You might lose some branches. It might tip the tree over at a 45-degree angle, but those roots are still there and they're vast, which means that you shall grow again. So who got knocked off? Who fell off? Who bumped their head? Who got flooded over? Are you not forgetting? You planted roots. You're not done. You just got to keep growing. Things are going to happen that's going to put you in that phase of, man, I failed. Things are going to happen that put you in that place of, man, my whole everything is knocked over, but you still have your roots. We cannot have creation without destruction. We cannot build a foundation without tearing something up in the process, right? So it's about that foundation. And if you have built something and it got knocked over, I know it hurts. I know it does. I've been there. I've had plenty of my trees knocked over, but you know something? Those trees are back because they were deeply rooted within the soils. Has anyone ever tried to pull up a tree with their bare freaking hand, even if it's just a tree stump? It might look dead on the outside, but on the inside, it's beaming with life. It's beaming with messengers, the worms, your spirit guides, the little ants, etc., etc., etc. So understand this, while you are also planting your roots and your seeds and stuff, there are people that rely on your roots that you might not ever think are there, but they're like, yo, I needed to hide from that crazy predator last weekend. I hid in that stump and it didn't eat me. My whole family survived because of you. So who's the one not giving them enough credit? Give yourself some credit and pat yourself on the back. It's time to bring those ideas preserved to the forefront. It's time to tap into the spirit whisperer energy, which is about divine guidance and higher knowing. 333. I'm not going to say Akati. I'm not going to say it's a triple moon goddess, but what I am saying is that there is wisdom coming your way. I see this through the owl totem. If you get a chance, look into the owl totem. Don't worry about the screech owl, barn owl, whatever. Just look into the owl, okay? Because there's a lot of owls out there, but if you think in general, when we have the gods and goddesses come into our life in the form of animals, whether it's an owl, we're not like the goddess isn't like, hey, send that purple screech owl from the north or whatever, looking like that with a fitted cap on his head. No, here, the owl, there it is. And the owl in itself is wisdom. The owl is very perceptive. And I think that those that resonate with this reading need to go ahead and take a moment to look into the owl and understand that when spirit whispers to you, it doesn't always whisper in a booming voice. There's been times I've been in telepathic connections for days with my ancestors, with the deities. And I look around and I talk to others and they're like, you talked to them in that trance state for that long? And I'm like, yeah. They're like, that's not good. You need to come back. And it feels literally like a 5-minute conversation. But that 5-minute conversation gives you enough wisdom and clarity to last you years. So for those that are wondering if they are connecting with their ancestors, you are. They just aren't always going to come through on that TV magic, you know? They'll come when they need to come. The Diamond Dreamer, which is about material wealth and true prosperity. The ancestors, they just not going to drop $100 out of thin air on your lap, but what they going to do is they going to open doors. They're going to introduce you to people. Maybe sometimes these people might not be the best people in the world, but the ancestors are like, you know what? They got what you need right now, and y'all might not be friends forever, but right now y'all get what y'all get from each other, and that's the way it has to be because we not earthly incarnated, and we're working with what we got. Everyone's a little effed up down here right now, okay? Some are just a little more effed up than others. So when your ancestors send someone into your life, even if they last 5 minutes or 2 hours, they came in there to serve that purpose, and you had the vibe going on at the time. I'm not saying y'all got some betrayal energy in your corner. I'm just saying that the ancestors and the gods and goddesses have mysterious ways of working. And it's not always going to be the way that you want it to be, right? They are going to teach you how to hit the intention, how to hit the mark. But what they're really going to teach you is how to be the altar priestess, how to prepare for sacred ritual, how to prepare for them. 39. Numerology. 12. 2 + 1. 3. Some of you have a triple goddess in your life or a maiden mother crone. This woman could also be incarnated. This woman might be a deity. This woman might be an ancestor, but this ancestor or deity will come forth at the time that they need to talk to you. For example, let's take a specific deity. She is shown up to many people old, withered. And it hurts many of us because we look at her and say, you are one of the strongest in the universe. Why would you manifest yourself in front of me when I look up to you? And she'll say in a calm voice, my dear sweet child, wisdom is not in physical strength. Wisdom can be in the mind of a child. Wisdom can be a fine, quiet word from an elder who can barely walk down the street, but they have a story to tell you that no ancestral altar that a book tells you to build could manifest. Because that is like a key to the highway. But there's no set in stone word saying you need a damn cup of water and a candle to contact your ancestors. You can pray to them. Your blood does not come in the cookie cutter book that you see at every single Barnes and Nobles. No disrespect to those beautiful people to put the stuff out there. But that's not the only way. And I'll be damned if I let the world continue to feed the world that BS to our up and coming witches and warlocks and magicians and whatever you want to call yourself. It's about reflection, patience, stillness, understanding what goes on in your bloodline. Your bloodline ain't a book. Even if you write 14 books of shadows, 3 grimoires, you can own 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 Lemegatons. You can own the Greater Key of Solomon. You can own the Holy Bible. You can own a book on druids. You can own whatever you want, but sooner or later you gonna put them books to the side and you gonna sit in your temple in your humbled self and say, please teach me what you have taught the ones before me. And that is when they come through from and through you and speak through you. Let me ask you something, whoever resonates with this. Who has been talking normal and then they pray to their grandma from like freaking South Carolina and they talk from a proper person to, man, I'm about to go make me some grits and chitlins out this junk. What you think that's you? Transmediumship, look it up. That's your homework assignment. That's all I got for you. Hopefully this share. Hopefully this resonates. If so, please like, share, and subscribe. But you know who you is. You don't need no books to reach your ancestors. You don't need what everyone tells you to do. You have everything you need inside of you. Sit back and figure out what y'all love in your family. Because what has been passed down, you heard of recipes? Thanksgiving dinners, that collard green recipe passed on down to your family through the years and years and years and years and years. Yeah, the descendants might have messed around and added a little bit of this and a little bit of that or made it a little bit healthier because we can't eat everything now. Stuff will kill us. But in essence, it came from somewhere. It came from the bloodline. It came from pain and suffering. It came from nothing. Who's had nothing and created something out of nothing? 11:11. That's your reading. Peace.